I am recording.
Good.
Cold opening today. This is the spin-off. Ned and Maude have moved to the Springfield Township, and in this premiere episode, they meet a wacky new neighbour who has a gimmick. Who would you rather be, Maude, Ned, or the wacky new neighbour?
I'll be Maude.
Okie dokie. And action. They're going to leave Springfield. We're going to another Springfield. It's the Maude and Ned spin-off sitcom starring Rod and Todd. Ding, ding, ding. Well, diddly doodly, Maudlin, let's unpack these biddly boxes.
Oh, okay. This house is nice.
This house is nice. I sure hope it ain't diddly haunted.
No, it looks new.
But look out of the window, Maude. Who's that on our lawn?
What's that crazy lady doing?
That crazy lady? I think that might be actually a man dressed as a lady.
Oh yeah, of course.
Smash! Oh my goodness. Did you just come in through our front window?
What's going on?
I'm John Hamm.
From Mad Men.
Yes, Don Draper from Mad Men. I'm John Hamm, and I'm your next door neighbour.
What is your name?
John.
I see. Well, would you like some lemonade?
Well, I can't because I've got dynamite for legs.
That's not good. Is it late?
Not yet, but just wait and see. No, Ned, don't light up that big cigar. No, hold on, I'm Ned.
Yeah.
I'm John Hamm. No, don't light up that big cigar in case. Oh, I've got dynamite for legs.
Oh no, it's lit.
They've gone from Springfield and gone to Springfield Township to be continued. Maude. It's a Maude Good Cast Season 4. Auntie Edna, anti-database. She's one of the recurring ghosts from primetime TV show. Firmly established a supporting character. Arms by side, slightly leaning forward. Her eyes are fuzzy, motionless and blinking. Religious loving and sassy business. Escaping death, left, right, and center. But not in season 11. It's the Modeling Radamantha's Good Cast Season 4.
4E3.
Who would have thought it? 33 episodes in, not 43 as the number would suggest, but 33 Maudecasts. Who would have even believed it?
Certainly not me.
Certainly not me either.
As the #1 Maude database enthusiast.
You just got to get out there and do it. We invented the world, and now the world exists.
Derrida.
So, hello, Goodman, Tinker, Turnbull, Flanders, Morning, and not Bart's Mom's Clum. Prohibit yourself from putting down any quantity of meat, my confidant. Brought to you by Ross Dibney's multiple 16th decade rabbits. And sadly, still a division of Stamp PLC.
Bear with me. Sorry, I'm just blowing my nose.
Brought to you by Ross Dibney. Sadly, still a division of StampNet PLC. Sponsors: Life, as in existence. Thanos tried to wipe out half, did not succeed. Sponsor did succeed for briefly. Pound Bakery, fresh is best. Don't look under our cupboards. Sponsor: Nestle. Still having our way with koalas when you're not looking. Sponsor: Hugh Laurie off Doctor House. Sponsor: Cats and Barry Wigan, the first king of Wigan, Wigan Tree, Shopping Centre R, great-great-grandfather.
Give me a number between 1 and 15 and I'll give you a bonus sponsor.
13.
The Cinepec Group.
Nice. Is that a Chinese energy company by any chance?
I believe so.
What's their slogan?
Don't ask, don't tell.
DADT. How about a quote? How about some quote from Jack Derrida?
Yeah, why not?
We've got the Ouija board out, so why not? Why don't we just have a direct chat with him?
Oh yeah, this isn't an editing nightmare at all.
Oh hey Jack, are you back from beyond the grave to give us some more biographical information about yourself?
Yes, I am.
Good. I was excited to learn more about the Maude of the philosophy world.
My parents, Hayne Aaron Prosper Charles Aimee Derrida and Georgette Sultana Esther Safar named me Jackie, which they considered to be an American name. I was named Jackie after the American child actor Jackie Coogan, who would become well known around the world for his role in the Charlie Chaplin film The Kid. I was given the middle name Eli after my paternal uncle Eugene. This name was not recorded on my birth certificate, and I would later call it my hidden name. Nathan, do you have a hidden name? Nathan, do you have a hidden name?
Francis.
Oh, I've got to go now.
Well,
Is that it?
that was good that Jack went. He threw a question out there and then headed for the hills. But he did leave a quote for us. Are you ready?
Sure.
You better find your way out, and you better learn how to run. I could trickle, and I could flood. A voice coach taught me to sing. He couldn't teach me to love. Easy talking, border blocking. I walk to Baltimore and keep the language off the streets. I heed the surgeon's warning. I swung my fiery sword and vent my spleen at the Lord. He is abstract and bored, too much milk and honey. I waltz through the wilderness with nothing but a compass and a canteen. Setting.
Sounded like a poem.
Well, at times, Jack did get quite poetic, but what do you make of that in the Maude context? Remember, there's no wrong answers, but some answers will get you a prize.
I don't remember a lot of it already, so the context is hard, but it had a nice rhythm to it. What would you summarize it as? And I will apply that tomorrow.
I'll read you my best 3 lines and you can respond to them, okay?
Yes.
A voice coach taught me to sing. He couldn't teach me to love.
That seems apt. It seems like Maude would have a voice coach at some point off screen around this time because, yeah, she might start singing anytime soon. Well, she's already part of the group and she's going to display that today. Yeah, nobody can teach you to love. I don't know why a voice coach would specifically be able to do that.
Well, this voice coach failed on all accounts. All right, one more. We won't go for 3, but how about this one? I swung my fiery sword. I vent my spleen at the Lord. He's abstraction bored. Too much milk and honey.
Sounds more like Ned than the Lord. Or maybe Maude. That she is potentially bored. And milk and honey is a very Flanders treat, I would say. I think that's something they would have. I don't know what Maude's spleen plays into, but if the Lord asked to see her spleen, I'm sure she would show it to him.
To vent one's spleen is an idiomatic phrase to get angry with somebody. Do you think Maude vents her spleen at the Lord ever?
No. I think at others, at humans, but not at the Lord. It's a bit much.
Maybe. I've never seen her raise her fist to heaven and shake it.
No. Not yet, anyway.
After she passed. At times, their faith was sorely tested.
Yes. According to her diaries as well, she fell out with God.
Exactly. Like Martin Sheen when he went into that church and just started shouting.
She does actually have crosswords with God in heaven at one point, so maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe you're wrong. Knock, knock, knock. Hey, someone at the door, Nathan.
Hello.
Hello, boys. I'm a bit worried, boys. Have you seen Ergun?
Which one's that?
Ergun, my assistant. You know, the boy what always hangs around and he has notepad and taking all numbers and everything, because I can never do that now without cramping my hands.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Where's he got? Have you seen him anywhere? I've not seen him for 2 days.
No, I haven't seen him around anywhere. Have you checked Twitter?
But I went into his room the other day and just his bed sheets were just torn and ripped everywhere, and her little paw feet all over everywhere, and her little wee turd in corner of room just curled up.
Lovely. Is he, sounds like he might be dead.
Oh, nothing for suggest he's dead, but he doesn't even have a dog or cat, and he's just paw prints bloody everywhere. Shitty paw prints everywhere.
Could they possibly be from you?
Oh no, my feet are normal human size.
Oh, yeah.
All right, if you see him, give us a ring on my mobile number, what you've got written down. Do we need to put it in your phone, or have you got it?
Oh, I've got it.
Are you sure? Just check.
All right, go on.
Just check on your phone and see if you've got my details in your phone.
Yeah, they're here.
Show me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I use a WhatsApp or something.
Yeah.
Are you on WhatsApp? Have you got me on WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Just
Sure.
send a message now for a test that you've really got me on WhatsApp. And because if you see Ergon and then you send me a message on WhatsApp and I don't get it, I'll be bloody walking around everywhere looking for him.
Right, I've sent you a message.
Just a minute, let me check. It's in my bag. Oh yeah, I got it. All right, thanks. I'll just send
See
you.
ya.
I'll send you one back.
We're already on the phone.
No, we're face to face.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, you're at the door, aren't you?
I mean, I'm on the phone as well, but I'm looking at you.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
COVID times, I'm allowed in your bubble. Because
True.
don't forget that. Right, I've got to go.
Oh,
in. Bye. Right,
Bye.
what was that all about? That was madness, wasn't it?
Yes, that man has lost his mate.
He's either lost his assistant Ergon or he's lost his marbles. Probably both. to be honest.
Both. One of them is redeemable.
Redeemable marbles. Give me a number between 1 and 300.
299.
299. Blimey. Going all the way to the end. A lot of scrolling required. It simply says the word pony.
Just the word pony.
Just the word pony.
I'm speculating that that's about the Maude Too Late episode that we're going to come to at some point, because that's called Lisa's Pony, and she's in it, and we missed it.
Really?
We looked at, well, our cousins looked at it for the Doris cast and sent it over. So
But they
we've
also had a pony at Christmas, didn't they, in a house that disappeared. Now, was that Maud's pony? Was that a hired pony, a fake pony? And did Maude have a pony or any such big pet as a child?
I think it was a fake pony in the Flanders house to start. And no, maybe she had a cow that she liked on the farm.
Had a cow. That's interesting.
Yes.
We never explored the notion that she actually lived on a farm. We've vaguely mentioned that maybe she did.
I would say she lived near a farm and formed a bond with a passing cow.
Okay. Like Bat Cow. Nathan, what's he doing outside our window again?
Stamp.
Yeah, he's Stampy. He appears to be covered in some kind of cream.
He just seems to be slapping his body against the window, making like patterns.
Oh, good
Shall
lord.
we
Let's
ask him?
ignore him. Let's ignore him. Can we go? Should we start content?
Sure, let's just leave him to it.
To it. Anything you want to say to these good people about this episode before we begin the content of this 33rd Maude Cast?
This is a song. That's it.
It is a song. We heard a bit of it last week, and it's been chopped to high heaven to get all of the Maude out of that song, which is good. So clip 1, the dancing girls, the foxy dancing girls of the burlesque house are dancing on the steps, and they sing, "We put the spice in Springfield," and we get a classic back of the head shot, and all men except for Maude in this shot.
I think they say spring.
Did I say
that is the song. It says spice.
Is that a mistyping or is that who knows anyway? But they put both the spring and the spice in the step of Springfield, and you got Carl, Lenny, Lovejoy, but they're all men except for Maude. A classic back of the head shot. The dancers walk over to Ned and Maude, and the madam says, "We put that extra little spice that makes existence extra nice," and Maude, mildly surprised, with wide eyes, arms by side, pointing backwards. She does these weird things where her arms are down by her side, but her hands are pointing like backwards.
I didn't notice that. Like she's ready to claw somebody.
Well, they're not like forwards like this. They're just kind of like like pointing completely backwards, which is a weird way to maybe to pour somebody. Catty.
Flick them forwards.
And there's a nice band playing some Dixieland-esque a tune, and all in all, it's very nice. Maude, what does she make of this?
Tress MacNeille playing Belle is one of the better one-time characters that isn't a celebrity voice as well, I will add now. I think that was a cool character. It seems like someone they would get a celebrity in to play, but they didn't. So maybe there was somebody in line for it. Maude doesn't need a little extra spice, was my point. Maude's spicy enough from what we can gather. She has some very spicy thoughts, like stabbing Luan and things like that, deep down. So they're making a judgment that Maude needs spice in her life, but in reality, I don't think she needs any more.
I think most people there would enjoy and maybe even embrace a little extra spice, even if they were quite spicy. But I think Maude doesn't want any extra spice. She believes that the amount of spice she has is plenty. Thank you very much.
Yeah, she looks either dumbfounded or like paralyzed with rage at the accusation as well. Like she doesn't, her face is very like, her eyes are very wide. Like she looks kind of not shocked, but stunned.
Absolutely stunned into silence by this approaching torrent of leg.
And speaking of extra spice, Mo is just lurking around behind her.
Do you think he's lurking, or do you think he just happens to be there?
Probably just happens to be there, but it is, you can just sort of see his face on like in the very edge of the screen. So he's always around.
The problematic Mo on the very cusp of being cancelled.
Yes, the next one to go.
At a moment too soon in my book.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. She's irritated. She's not singing yet.
No, she's quietly seething at this burlesque house, at this filth on her very doorstep. Where the gin in your martini, where the clams in your linguine. The ladies walk down, and as we cut, the madam is literally walking into Maude. She must be centimeters from Maude's face when we cut, and suddenly she's nowhere near her, which means that maybe Maude, she just stumbled backwards so quickly that she's now 3 rows back. Everyone's intimidated. They just cut back, and they just step back as the madam, the burlesque madam and her foxy ladies stride through the middle of that crowd like a parted ocean and flick Bumblebee Man's antenna just as part of their song. And Maude out once again, arms by side, and I just wrote terrified ?
She's a teleporter again. This is what I was saying last week. Happens with Carl as well, because her and Carl are stood right at the front and then instantly are 4 rows back when she walks through. So I hope somebody got fired for that blunder. I don't think Maude drinks martini or eats linguine, so I don't think this line has any effect on her. Like, I don't think those are 2 things that she's interested in.
I don't know. You know, I've heard those terms used as euphemisms.
I don't think Maude doesn't deal with euphemisms.
It's very straight-laced. You either say it straight out or you don't say it at all, mister. Don't be coming with your double entendres.
Single only. I wrote that it was a cool back of Maude stance. I liked the design for whatever reason.
What was that reason?
Whatever reason.
What was it, though?
I think she was like lurching forward a little bit.
Slight lurch. She does the slight lurch, right? We've talked about this before. So she's standing up straight, but she's not quite straight. From the waist, she's kind of bent forward. Arms by her side, hands facing backwards, leaning forward at an angle of maybe 20 degrees. And then eyes like semi-rolled back in her head with a goofy face. That's how Maude. That's how I'll remember her when she's dead.
When she's gone. It's like she's practicing like stretches or yoga. It's like mid-scene.
Maybe. There's always time for Pilates.
I also noted that Ned is miles away from her, but he is stood directly next to Edna, who would later become the extra spice that Ned needed to make existence extra nice.
And at that point, he didn't even know who she was, yet he stood right next to her in this song.
Yeah, but he doesn't know anything about her.
Now that's something Hedge need to roll for.
That's going to have its moment in the sun.
What do you
in
make
about
of this
4 years.
Bumblebee? What do you think of this abusive Bumblebee man?
I thought it was more playful than abuse. I thought it was more tongue-in-cheek than anything. I don't think he minded. I imagine the Bumblebee man was a patron. We don't know a lot about him. We certainly don't know a lot about his wife, Senora Bumblebee, who will have her day in the sun too.
I'm hoping that very soon the Senorita Bumblebee cast will make its presence known very, very soon. From our cousins. So, clip 3, Dancing Ladies were the highest in your hairdo. I don't think that's right. I've written that down. But
highlights.
Oh, the highlights in your hairdo. They approached the conservatively dressed Helen and Maude, and this is Maude's oh my moment. So she raises her hand up to her chest, kind of like, oh my. And but is it fright or is it intrigue at these ladies? But still no movement, no motion, no blinking, but she does now look extra concerned. I think this is several episodes of our show that since Maude spoke or moved. Is that right? Or have I...
Yeah, no, she hasn't spoken for us. I can't even remember what the episode was. It was like the end of season 7. Because the last Maude we looked at was like just like the pictures on the wall and stuff at the end of season 7. See, I don't think Maude spoke for a good like 4 or 5 podcasts now, excluding the casts and the break.
So here is the so I'm interested whether she's intrigued by these ladies or frightened or angry. She doesn't give too much away. Then Apu turns up and says, it's the extra arms on Vishnu. And Maude smiles at this. Even his heathen religion is better than this sauciness from these ladies. Or is it? I can't make head nor tail of what's going on here in from Maude's POV.
No, me neither. From the timeless Apu gag that will never sour. That first shot when the women approach Maude and Helen, most of those women in that shot are Maggie Roswell. Like 70% of those women are Maggie Roswell.
I hope she didn't get a single extra red cent for all that extra work she did.
No. I thought Maude's hand gesture was to say, like, who me? Because I don't think Maude or Helen have highlights in the hair, from what we can tell. So she's sort of thinking, is this apply to me? Does this, yeah, like me as well? So then I think she's kind of smiling because she's been actively included.
Now that would definitely shine her buttons, wouldn't it? A line in your song about me, just everyday average Maude, and you foxy sexy ladies are all singing about me. So is she smiling at that, or is she smiling at Apu's little statue of Vishnu with all his extra arms?
Maybe she's sort of smiling in mockery because she doesn't believe that to be real, because she knows Jesus has 2 arms. But I do think that this is more likely to be the turning point of the song for her. For whatever reason, those 2 lines work for her, and she thinks, yeah, this is an essential thing that Springfield needs, because she's on board after this.
Oh, yeah. It's a very well-constructed song in which each line is designed to get to the very soul of a particular character or a group of characters and thus turn them. Very manipulative, Machiavellian even, for an improvised Dixieland song.
Yeah. And it's strange that they went, if that was the goal, writing-wise, it doesn't seem like they knew they were going to have that line sang to Maude and Helen, because if they did, wouldn't it be more of a, like, with a ribbon in your Bible sort of line or something like that? Like, I don't know why it would be about the her.
Were the ribbon in your Bible, were the slithers in your trifle? Slithers
exactly.
Is the 80s horror movie.
Oh, yeah. Whalen slithers.
Into their trifle. but that wouldn't make them turn. If anything, that would make them real. Oh, I don't like that metaphor or literal sentence. So no, I think even though highlights, maybe Maude thought, or highlights as in the best parts, maybe she misunderstood and she didn't think, she said, oh, of course they know I don't actually have like highlights. I don't dye my hair. This is natural. Is it natural? Is Maude's hair 100% natural?
I think so. But this is the thing, actually. Sometimes it is quite a dark red particularly later on, like season 10, 11, her hair is like more of a rod-coloured hair, whereas Todd is more orange, I would say. Maybe the orange is a highlight, and Maude's hair is more red than orange. And when we see her with the orange hair, that is highlights. That is an option. We've seen her at the salon getting something done.
This is a rich seam of speculation, and I wish there were more clues. I'm going to keep my eyes open for any more hair highlight related clues. But let's move on. So clip 4. Yes, let's be the, and then Mo crashes some bin lids together, and then they sing something else which I haven't written down, and then Bart has joined them, a face forward Bart and a face forward Homer. Maude's all into it now. Her arms are raised, and really she's been converted. And then Ned appearing at the window of the burlesque house. I think it's all gone off the rails. We're in parallel universe here for sure.
I don't remember Ned, but that's an interesting point. I've written that she doesn't actually move around that much. I thought she teleported way more in this song, but everywhere she stood, other than that first time when she teleports with Carl, everywhere she stood sort of makes sense, actually. So she isn't as much of a witch as I thought. Maybe it's just the mob mentality getting to her, because everybody seems to have turned at this point and is on board and is singing along. So maybe she's just, again, that's what she does with a mob. She does whatever they're doing most prominently, unless it's clapping.
I mean, that's good mob etiquette. If you're going to join a mob, there's no room for individuality in a mob. It's basically baked into the concept. There's no point turning up in a clown outfit and, doing backflips through the mob. If you're going to be there, get a bloody placard and join in.
She's now seemingly removed her cardigan, which I said was a parallel, a thematic parallel. Here's something that's definitely a stretch, even for us. Last week, when she was on stage with everybody, she donned a cardigan, and maybe that was to express her buttoned-up conservativeness. And now that she's on board, the cardigan has been removed again.
I think that's a really plausible answer, to be honest, for the cardigan. The cardigan is clearly symbolic. Maude, we did say earlier that Maude, everything's face value with Maude, but that's for when she's listening. But Maude herself, she's very open to symbolic interpretation. She gives messages with every facet of her being.
Yeah, she can't help it.
Can't help it.
She just exudes content, thematic content.
So not a stretch at all. In fact, what's the opposite of a stretch? A squeeze up.
A squeeze.
So that was a very good squeeze that you brought there to the table.
Thanks.
What's going on with Mo banging those bin lids together?
Everybody makes a noise. Well, not everybody. Some of the characters make noises to replace the word spring towards the end of the song. So it's like we put the in Springfield.
Is that noise that Mo makes as good as the baby ox noise that he makes in the shelter?
No, not at all. The subtitles for that refer to it as guttural braying.
I think that's an apt description.
It is. It's his best bass as well.
Clip 5. Cut to the Holy Rollers, and Ned starts talking. Well, I'm convinced this house stays. Lovejoy. This house is a very, very, very fine house. Crosby, Stills, and Nash reference. Maude, hands clasped in front of her country house. Oh yeah, lots of houses, all around the houses. Clasped in front of her calm smile. Maude looks zonked, or is she just looking up? Mel, Otto, and the Van Houtens all try to stop Maude. I may have
seen more.
these notes may need some editing. So essentially, Marge comes in and she smashes on a bulldozer through the gates of the burlesque house, and all Mel and Otto, Sideshow Mel and Otto and the Van Houtens try to stop her, and Homer shouting, "What are you doing, Marge?" Maude She just kind of stands there. She doesn't try to stop it. And she's just in the distance kind of looking at it. And Homer says, Marge, didn't you hear the song? No, I had to rent the bulldozer. Well, we all changed our minds. And Wiggum shouts, now we all love the house. Maude just stood there in the middle distance, looking on, arms by side, motionless, and then quickly nestles in behind Wiggum so we can't see her. Again, a callback to the earlier part of the episode.
She's always nestled behind something. Dare I say she looks frumpy at the start of this clip. She doesn't. Yes, she doesn't. She doesn't have a normal shape. She looks sort of like they've aged her by like 30, 40 years with her like posture and her stance and like, I don't know, clothes look baggy and sort of just older. So yeah, I noted that, but it is somewhat disrespectful. And Maude can be as frumpy as she likes and it won't change anything.
Well, I was thinking maybe this represents her looseness came out, and it was only that moral uptightness that was keeping everything in check. And as soon as she just let out when she went over to the dark side with this mob, she just let it all out, and that's the real Maude. She's frumpy. She's kind of like she's got bad posture. She, maybe it was only her uptightness that made Maude Maude, and now Maude's not Maude anymore.
There's still the option that she's on the cider, and that's just a bit of a cider belly. But it's weird that maybe she's just been sucking it in the entire time, and now she's like, they say she's loosened up, so she's letting the beer belly hang out. Maybe.
Clip 6, Marge is singing.
I have several more things to say.
You're still banging on about clip 5. It is a rich clip.
We barely talked about it.
All right.
She doesn't really try and stop Marge at all. She just she doesn't even wave her arms like everybody else. She just I don't know, it's like if somebody dropped something and like 5 people went to pick it up, and one of those people clearly just like waddled forward a bit and watched the other 4 pick it up and kind of just moved their hands as if they were going to maybe try, but had no intention of doing. Reminded me of something like that. She has no intention of helping, but she wants people to think she's at least tried.
She hangs back until everybody's clearly already started, and then she kind of like, can I just help here? Again, Philly, no.
Plain dumb. And I wrote that she's slick like a fox because she's, again, orchestrated this. Her, Helen, Tim, Ned, and Seymour are the reason that Marge knows about this situation. They are the reason Skinner's out of this now, but Maude, riled the mob up at the meeting. She then participated in the damage of property and, but coerced Helen into actually doing the smashing and everybody else into actually doing the smashing. She didn't do anything. And now that Marge looks like she's going to F the day up, Maude's like 9 rows back. She's moved as far back as she possibly can.
Not my business. Not my problem, mate.
So she's a bit of a stirrer. She's a bit of maybe a conflict stirrer.
Conflict stirrer. Do you think had the burlesque house survived, Maude would have begun to frequent it?
No, but I think she wouldn't have. She would have just paid it no mind. Maybe one day she would have just come back to it and changed her mind again and demolished it. Then.
Well, it wouldn't have been that hard because, as we see in the next clip, it looks like it was made out of exceptionally flimsy material.
Seems that way.
Shall we move on?
Yes.
Clip 6. Marge is singing now about morals and ethics and carnival barons. I don't know what that means. That's not the right line. She lets the bulldozer go, which smashes and destroys the house very, very, very easily. Marge says sorry. We see a face-forward Maude with her eyes rolled back in her head, arms by her side, no expression. Lovejoy says, thanks a lot, Marge. That was our only burlesque house. And then the madam goes up to Marge and says, I do love it when you drop by, Marge. Maude seems to be the only one who's not really very angry. Kirk Van Houten seems to be smiling, but all the others seem to be upset. Maude, face-forward Maude, she gives nothing away.
Maybe, just maybe, Maude was smiling and Kirk somehow borrowed that feeling. That is always
like in the song that he sings.
Just like that. I like Margie's really weak song. I like that she comes in, there's not even like music to it or anything. It's just all one note. And she says, moral and ethics and carnal forbearance.
Carnal forbearance. That's
Yeah.
a good line. What does that even mean?
I think it just means like chastity.
Forbearance.
Never Googled it.
That's a great word. If you're a listener out there and you know that what the word forbearance means, then you can pat yourself on the back, because we don't.
No,
Forbearance
neither of us.
is patient self-control. So I think you're right. Yes. Abstinence, etc., etc.
You'd think she would like that song, but again, she's on board now with the house, so Marge, and any excuse to just sort of dislike Marge, I think she'll take. But yeah, after the whole smashing thing has happened, when she's face forwards, she just looks tired or like unfazed by the outcome, and I just wrote cider ? Or are we back to the general? I seem to always come back to this one. It's probably because it was our first content, but the golf game, when that sort of look of middle distance, really deeply just thinking about herself, not what's going on around her. That seems to have continued on successfully since the golf game. She has phases, doesn't she? And it seems like she's back in the phase of self-analysis in the midst of everything that's going on. Maybe she's thinking about her own judgments that she made.
Maybe. Do you think that this is like a critical self-analysis, or do you think it's just self-congratulation? Do you think it's judgment of others? Do you think it's some abstract mindscape? What's going on in there?
If I'm 100% honest, I do think that she's just pissed. I think that that's the start of the season 8 storyline, is that she's on this cider now, and at some point she will see the light and try and force prohibition into the town.
So she's got a hankering for Mike's hard cider or some old English, and this is a hidden thing. Now, originally I would have said, don't be so ridiculous, Nathan. But after the Hans Moleman episode that our cousins did, which suggested that he was a heavy drinker, and we saw no signs whatsoever. You know, it's absolutely possible that every now and again, because remember, we don't see Maude that often here. We're going to assume there's a few weeks between these major incidents, and she's only here and there. So who knows? Maybe it's just the timing that she has a little bit of Dutch courage before she goes out and does this nonsense, or maybe she sloshed all the time on cider now.
I think it's a recent thing. I think it's come since the trip to the cider factory, and I think it won't. It's a passing phase, but I think that's the phase we're currently in, because, yeah, the last 3 Maude casts, her eyes have been everywhere, and she's just been sort of stood either motionless or like she would be swaying slightly.
There's a lot to suggest that she's not really with it, paying attention. And she is just got that kind of like mild look of being out of it.
She does. So I think that's what's going on.
Or interacting with any other humans.
No, she's checked out of the scene mentally.
She's checked out of existence completely for a month or two.
Yeah.
Nobody noticed? Not even Ned?
Even the ladies who were singing about her have moved on. She's just another pawn in the machine now. The chess machine. Yeah, that's it. It's a great. I was looking forward to this one because I wondered how we were going to tackle a song rather than 5 or 6 different scenes, and it worked out quite nicely.
Yeah, I think we did a great job.
We put the Maude in Maude Cast.
Yeah, we put the cast in it as well, and pod. Yeah. We put the pod in Maude Cast.
Stamp.
So. Is that enough for the content for today? Do you want to give people some more information about that? Or what's coming?
No, I think that's it. Good arc. She saw the error of her ways, it seems, or at the very least followed the mob when they saw the error of their ways.
So, ring, 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 ring. Can you just get that?
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, hi. I'm Jeff Appel, richest man in the world, and I've got a proposition for you.
Are you the real Jeff Appel?
I'm the real deal Jeff Appel, and can you not hear my money sloshing around in my phone? I want to give you a proposition.
A proposition, you say?
Bless you.
Thanks.
Hey, don't nobody tell you that Jack Apple don't have manners. I'd like to make you a proposition, boy.
Okay.
Listen, I want to buy your shopping trolley full of tat that you call the Maude Flanders Internet Museum and Database. I'd like to buy it.
You want to buy it?
Yeah, who's your boss? Who owns it?
God, technically.
I've got
But if you want to speak to someone...
Contract written in crayon, it seems to suggest that Stamplin Gwozelich or some nonsense owns it.
Well, yeah, if you want to speak to someone tangible...
Listen, Nathan, I'm going to go and get Stamp, and we can get here, because Stamp's got no money now, right? And he's covered in cream and living near the rack of our bins. I'll go get him. Yeah,
okay. He's just that guy outside rolling around in the street, covered in cats and cream.
What do you want, Nathan? Have you not damaged my reputation enough? What do you want?
Someone wants to talk to you.
Oh, give me that.
Can you come inside?
What do you want?
Hey, I'm Jeff Appel, richest man in the world, and I would like to make you a proposition.
A bloody what, lad?
I'd like to make you a proposition.
What, lad? What are you talking about?
I want to buy the Maude Flanders Internet Cast off of you.
All right, £1 million.
No, I won't give you £1 million. I'll give you £15.
18.
I'll give you £17.50.
It's a deal. Send it me on PayPal. Have you got me details?
I'll send my secretary over to get the details later.
But send it to me. What? My one in my email address.
You've not even got a phone.
Because I set up an extra PayPal one day by mistake, and it's like sometimes things get sent to that extra PayPal and I miss them. So can you make sure you send it to my real PayPal?
I'll make sure my assistant sends it to your correct PayPal. And now get the F out of here.
You bugger off as well. Nathan, I've got a deal for you. I will give this to Jeff Appel if you let me live in your factory in that curry place.
Are you going to behave better this time?
What I bloody well want, Nathan.
Yeah, okay.
Good. Bye. Right.
You left your queen.
Seems like a lot of things have happened there. Jeff?
Yes?
So you're now our boss, right?
Yeah, I'm your boss. I'll be coming around tomorrow.
What do you mean you come around tomorrow?
I'm moving in.
Well, what was that, Nathan?
I don't know. It looks like we've got 2 people moving in.
It does, doesn't it? It looks like Stamp's moving into the curry annex, the disused curry annex, and Jeff Appel, the richest man in the world, is going to come and live with us in our trolley.
I think so. Seems that way. I don't know why he would choose to do that as the richest man in the world, but I'm not going to say no to some solid gash.
Did you just describe Jeff Appel as solid gash?
Yeah, I meant to say cash.
You know what, Nathan? I'm going to share my screen with you, and it's time for some Maude art today. Now, have you seen this one before?
Yes, and I want to purchase it, but the face doesn't equate to $30, does it?
So, would you like to describe to the people out there what we're looking at?
Yeah, so it's a custom Lego minifigure. The Simpsons released some Lego figures, and this is a custom Maude. The body is completely fine. It's completely Lego, but the head looks like a different material, like sculpted. It's fine. They've got the eyes nailed down. One of them's one way, and the other one is like central. So that's the Maude we know. The cheeks are she sort of looks like Mr. Burns, or like someone sucked all of the air out of her face.
They're sunken. She has sunken cheeks, which is not really what our Maude has.
And it does look like she's wearing shorts, but that's just because of the way that the Lego figure, that the legs work. So that can't be helped.
But I would say it's super cool and a bit creepy, and not that Lego in the head. But if you don't treat it as a Lego figure, It's a pretty wild and wacky, cool little Maude artifact sculpture.
I like it. Yeah, I like it very much. I would love to have it at the Maudeatorium, but not for $30. Not yet.
With 20 shipping dollars as well. So this is by someone, is it called Paul's Custom or whatever? But his Angel Fire website wasn't really taking me anywhere. So don't have much more details than his page, but he's got lots and lots of these custom made figures. Super cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of Simpsons ones, and again, I like that when obscure characters are considered. So I'm on board.
I'm on board too, but here, if you go to the actual page and you click through, you can see some different views of Maude. You get a classic back of the head shot. Can you see it?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. He's very he's got a very muscular back.
Very muscular back, and actually quite muscular hair as well.
Yeah, it kind of looks like bread you get from the Japanese supermarket.
It does. It looks like cauliflower bread.
Yes, shokopan, but cauliflower instead of shoko.
Shokopan. It's not shokopan. Might be curry pan.
Maybe.
Maybe amman. Maybe ampan.
Doraemon.
Certainly not Doraemon. But
No.
How about those three there? That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, the Rod by a long shot is the most professional. Rod sort of looks completely legit. Todd's pupils are very thin, and he's sort of this just again because of Lego figures being one size. He looks giant. He looks like he could destroy them all. His hair is brown, which is a weird choice, but it's sort of not offending me.
I think the hair works really well on these, and I think if the material is kind of like a bit matte, if it was a shiny plastic material and the cheeks were a bit more round like a Lego person's head, I think it would work. Even with the big bulbous eyes and the nose, I think it might still work.
I would happily accept this as a gift. I wouldn't turn this away. But yeah, it exists.
He's a winner. He's a real winner. So well done, whoever made that. Paul's Customs. Get on eBay and buy it if that is indeed your thing. And I think, is it time for a more diary?
Yeah.
I wonder what she's going to talk about today. I mean, maybe she'll talk about the Burlesque House song, or maybe she'll reveal something else about herself to us.
There's only one way to find out.
Is it by listening to her diary?
That's one of the ways.
And also the
only way.
Dear Diary, today is an exciting day in the Flanders house. By some twist of fate, my old university friend Ruth Powers is moving in 2 doors down, and I'm very excited about that. I'm going to help her move in and catch up and stuff, and it's going to be lovely. I went to see Ruth and it was really nice. Things haven't changed and Laura looks well. We are going to hang out all the time, but probably mostly off screen, away from Ned, I mean. But Ruth has agreed. This is the first time now that we can trust somebody to look after Rod and Todd since Grandma Flanders lost her mind in that salt mill explosion. Ned, my husband, he suggested we leave Rod and Todd with Ruth and we go on a nice, lovely date, because we haven't done that for a while. So we're going to go to that posh restaurant, the truffle one, and we're going to eat elaborate food. Hi again, Diary. We went out for food and it was really tasty, and me and Ned had a lovely time, and nothing extreme or mental happened. It was just, run-of-the-mill meal. But we did see that busty hooker, the lady who dances for money. I believe her name is Shauna. I didn't she looked at me with a sort of confused, familiar look, but I just looked away. I don't have time to be dealing with hoochies like that. So I just kept my head down at my fillet of fish, and that was it. Now we're gonna watch a movie together, probably something with Jesus in it, or Mamma Mia. even though it's like 20 years before its release. But I got a DVD from the future. Bye.
Well, that was a long one. Was the writing very small on the page, or did she use several pages?
She used a lot of pages for that one. Giant writing.
So it seems like she had a lot of fun, and she might have met that dancer who was staring at her. I wonder what that's all about. And she powers. She moved in, and some other stuff probably happened as well. They watched from the future. Is she joking there?
I don't think so, because how would she know that there was a Mamma Mia? At this point, the song might not have even been released.
I believe the song Mamma Mia, the original ABBA song, was released in the 1970s or maybe the early 1980s.
Well, yes, it's definitely been released then. But regardless, yeah, I think we know time works differently in Springfield, so there's every chance that... Well, here's a theory. Bender from Futurama is currently in the basement of the Simpsons house, and he will be there for the entirety of the show. He's basically there for like 1,000 years, powered off.
Really?
So
is that canon? You know what year Mamma Mia first premiered?
The song?
No, the musical.
Like 2005.
1999.
Wow.
So actually, that's not too far away at all from when that first what's it called?
Movie.
No, the movie was much later. From when season 8 of The Simpsons is very close to when Mamma Mia the musical debuted.
But she is talking about season 4 memory here.
All things messed up, aren't they? Mamma Mia was originally released in 1975. Great song.
Excellent.
Shall we wrap up this madness with a song to take us home?
Sure.
Who's starting?
Me. What that little extra spice?
Oh, my Lovejoy, men, Carl, Lenny, Neck.
That makes existence extra nice.
Surprise, wide eyes, arms by side, pointing backwards, nice banks.
More lurking.
The clams in your linguine.
Cool lack of more stance.
I'm literally walking into Maud.
Most of those women are Roswell.
Abusing Bumblebee man's antenna.
Senora Bumblebee.
No movement, no motion, no blinking.
Vishnu.
Vishnu's extra arms. It's better than this sauce.
Cardigan. Removal.
Crashing the bin lids.
Frumpy.
Cardigan removal. Marge is singing about Mars and Alex.
Snoopy headband.
Carnival barons.
Cider.
Very, very, very easily demolished house.
Slick like a fox.
It's our only burlesque house.
Doesn't even wail.
I love it when you drop by.
Extra spice.
Extra spice.
The end.
The end. We did it. Episode 33 of the Maude Cast.
In the bag.
Now, recently, when we get this jing, 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 we haven't had any hassle from the YouTubes, even though we're still ripping off the son of Sonny Bono. You'll never know. He or she or they will never know.
No, Chaz has no idea what's going on.
See, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's Chaz I think it's a different son of Sonny Bono.
I see.
I think this is a son of Sonny Bono that is less well known than Chaz Sonny Bono.
Billy.
Who knows? I'm going to do some investigation and find out who our anti-sponsor, aka the son of Sonny Bono, really is.
Yoko.
Could be John Hamm.
Could be.
John Dynamite Legs Hamm. That's a callback to the beginning of this episode. And probably a signal that we should wrap it all up, because it's all got a bit loose and abstract today.
Yes, it did.
Alrighty. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.